Thank you, Acting Secretary, you and your entire team being here today. We really appreciate it. Going through your website, getting ready for today, I saw information about tablets that inmates can purchase. From what I could ascertain, they're not being purchased with taxpayer dollars. They're $147 a piece. Is that in any way subsidized by state revenue?
No.
Okay. Can you elaborate at all on the contract for these devices?
Well, we're in the middle of an RFP, so we're kind of limited, but I'll let Deputy Secretary Ottman expand on that.
Sure. Thank you, Senator, for the question. Currently, we have a notice of forthcoming procurement out that will include tablets, and this will also incorporate our phone systems as well, messaging, and with the tablets, they'll be able to download movies. They'll have communication with emails like they do now on their current tablets. And hopefully we'll also incorporate the phone system into that, and also the mail. We've had questions about that. We're hoping that all can be part of that system. Once we get that, we're hoping to have that bid out here within, I'd say, the next 2 months. And part of this will have an infrastructure that will have to be developed, because right now we don't have Wi-Fi through all of for obvious reasons, through all our institutions. Have to build that capability. That have to be part of this system. And then inmates can, we haven't made a decision on how we're going to do this, because some of this is commission revenue that comes in on the current systems, then we use towards the Inmate General Welfare Fund. So it's not taxpayer dollars that support some of this, and we're hoping that it can be self-sustaining within the Inmate General Welfare Fund, that we could eventually provide tablets to all inmates, because then that would have the capability to eliminate more of any type of paper mail, and that reduction will show a cost savings on the personnel needed, because then the tablets would just distribute all communications to them.
So what safety and security measures are in place to ensure that these devices can't be hacked? Individuals using them can't access any Department of Corrections or local networks that they shouldn't be on, and how is that cost covered?
That cost would be part of that bid process. That would be all inclusive. Obviously, you have to comply with all of the OAIT requirements for all safety security. That's all been incorporated into the bid. So they have to make sure, that gets a little bit beyond my technical expertise for the IT and that security systems, but that has to be reviewed by OAIT, incorporate that as part of the bid process to ensure that we have the proper safety measures in place so we don't have those type of issues happen as you're asking. Hopefully,
when you get through this process and can be more specific, would appreciate having some details. I know the new chairwoman of the Senate Communications and Technology Committee, as well as Judiciary Committee, I'm sure would be very interested in that. And you're utilizing a system called Connect Network so that inmates are able to email their friends and their family members. Do you envision continuing on with that service or a similar service like that?
Yes, we would.
And the previous administration, I had worked with them on the challenges of and the dangers of inmates who are being recruited and enticed into human trafficking while they are still incarcerated. And it often involves creating relationships. People are identified by their photographs that are posted by the Department of Corrections, and then it becomes really a recruitment and enticement program where they make a lot of great offers and build friendships, and immediately upon those individuals' release, they're met up by their traffickers who they've been talking to and created relationships via this correspondence, and they find themselves in really perilous circumstances. So with Connect Network program, are you able to assure the safety and security of those individuals who are incarcerated to keep them from being enticed into trafficking when they're released?
Yes, and I see our time's getting short, but yes, we have safeguards built into those systems for keywords that we can certainly monitor that. We can monitor mail. We have a human trafficking committee that meets quarterly. We have an individual assigned in our Bureau of Investigations and Intelligence that works closely, especially with our female institutions. And so we do have safeguards in place that we can make sure that if we do feel someone is potentially being enticed or so forth, that we can work also with that incarcerated female in assisting her in ways to obviously recognize some of those red flags.
Well, I appreciate that. And certainly I was glad to hear that since the last report in 2013, this current report in 2022, we've seen a reduction in recidivism. We know that when incarcerated individuals are released, it can be a vulnerable time, and assuring that they do not fall prey to such nefarious actors as human traffickers is reassuring. I thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.